Welcome to Black and Gold Digital Edition, a behind-the-scenes look at your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our final digital show of the season. Jay Puskar alongside Kent Urbanski. And Kent, before we talk football with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City was a great hospitality venue for us, but I got to ask you before we get to the football, what was better, Jack Stacks or Q39?
Boy, that's a tough one. It's a coin flip, but I'm going to have to go with 39, man. I don't know. It would just seem like the sauce was a little sweeter to my liking at 39, and but not taking anything away from Jack Stacks because, you know, we had a great dinner, great meal there, and yeah, I was impressed with both.
And the portions were amazing.
Yeah. I don't think either one of us ate for the rest of the day after we.
No, we had one meal, and that was pretty much all we needed.
Yep, that's all you needed, and we savored that taste of KC for the rest of the day.
We certainly did. And as for the football game itself, the Pittsburgh Steelers season comes to an end in the Super Wild Card round. 42-21 was the victory for the Kansas City Chiefs. But we kind of went into this matchup thinking, you know, Pittsburgh's got an uphill battle, and that was the case on that Sunday night.
Well, I kind of, you know, thought that they had a fighter's chance, and we talked about that before they went out there, and I thought that they would have to play a perfect game in order to pull off a victory there. You know, they played a great first half of football, and you take away the Travis Kelce touchdown 13 seconds before the game, and they're in it. It's still a ball game. I think it took the wind out of their sails when they scored that, and then you know, they deferred and they gave the ball right back to Kansas City in the third quarter. They came out, and the rest is history from there. When you go up 28-7 in a playoff game on the road, or down 28-7 on the road, it's tough to come back from that.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, for the first quarter and a half, Pittsburgh playing their brand of football.
Yeah.
You know, the defense hung in there. They got the scoop and score from T.J. Watt, and everything felt like Pittsburgh could possibly steal this one at Arrowhead. But then, as you mentioned, the offense for Kansas City just they hit the ignition button and they were off and rolling. Yeah,
I mean, and with Pittsburgh, I just don't think that. You know, I think they gave them their best shot in that first half. They tried to get them to play a Steeler version of slow down football, and 0-0 in the first quarter. Kansas City figured some things out, made some adjustments, and then when you have Patrick Mahomes just, you know, throwing, he almost looked like he was having, you know,
looked like recess football.
Yeah, right. You know, shuttle passing, then throwing, you know, trick plays to the tackle. Pittsburgh had no answer for those plays, and that's what happens.
Is it a good measuring stick though for this franchise to see where this is what it's going to take to get to the Super Bowl, and we're still levels away from getting to that possibility of playing for an AFC championship or playing for a Super Bowl?
Yeah, Mike Tomlin alluded to that in his press conference right after the game. This was a good indicator of what we need to do to match with these guys or to beat these guys. And, you know, you could tell that the Steelers have some holes to fill, and they're going to need to fill those holes if they're going to want to be competitive past round one of the playoffs in future years.
Emotionally, it's a tough loss for the players because their season just comes to an end, but extra emotional for Ben Roethlisberger because he hasn't officially announced his retirement, but all indications are pointing toward that this was it. What can you say about his career? And it's a tough way to go out because you know, the numbers weren't there and they come up with a loss.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he has nothing to hold his head low on. I mean, he had a great career. He brought a lot of success to Pittsburgh. I got to witness a lot of that success. You know, I've talked about this before when people have asked me about it, and you know, Ben Roethlisberger. You know, before him, there wasn't much success in between Bradshaw and Roethlisberger, and so people, even this game here, it was a loss, but people just needed to realize how special it was even to get there with Ben, and I think he can ride out of, you know, in the sunset with his head held high, and he gave it everything he had. I don't think he held anything back.
You were practically in person for most of his career. Would you say Super Bowl 43 was the highlight for you as far as the professionalism aspect with that final drive?
Yeah, I think so, because anytime you get an opportunity to shoot a game-winning touchdown and he made a an incredible throw, you know, for
triple coverage, I think.
Triple coverage. You know, like we've talked about this play before. You know, the ball goes to the other side. If he doesn't go through Santonio's hands, he catches that. I have an okay shot, but this one, he came right back at him. This one happened to lay a few feet in front of me. So, yeah, that was, you know, spectacular, you know, to be a part of that, to witness that close, personal, and intimate. So, yeah, I'd rank that right up there as number one. But I would have to say that watching him take his final lap at Heinz Field was a special, special moment to witness.
Yeah, there's definitely a different electricity in the atmosphere on that particular night. It was cold, but there was an electricity that really brought Heinz Field alive.
And it would be hard for me to see him come, even try to say, might give it a go after the emotions of all of that.
Yeah.
I can't see it. I think he's ready to get on with his life.
And especially the way his regular season ended, being able to cap it off at home with a win against Cleveland, and then to win the final road game of his career, coming full circle.
Yeah.
Lost in Baltimore his rookie year, but then to win it in his final go-around.
Yeah, and what was even special there, too, was that, you know, at both of those stadiums, the coaches, the players, especially in Kansas City, you know, they approached Ben right after the game and wished him good luck. Patrick Mahomes, you know, having a conversation with Ben about wanting jersey swap there.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, those players and coaches all have a respect for what Ben brought to the game.
How do you see the offseason shaping up? I mean, there's going to be a lot of questions. It starts with quarterback, a lot of free agents out there, and just even from the coaching staff. There could be some changes, but what would you speculate, you know, just moving forward with some of the immediate needs that they would at least have to start looking at having those conversations?
Like I said, there's a lot of holes to fill, but I think quarterback, who's going to quarterback that football team next year? I think you'd have to look right now at Mason Rudolph being number one, Haskins being number two, and whether they're going to draft somebody or bring in a veteran to compete with those guys. I think that's number one. Number two would be to, you know, spend some of that cap money that they have and build those lines again, offensive and defense. You're going to have possibly a change at defensive coordinator. I'm not sure if Keith Butler is going to retire or not. You know, they like to hire within, so who knows if Terrell Austin is primed and ready to take over that role. So there's a lot of what ifs. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. And then obviously with Kevin Colbert, not knowing, I'm saying, you know, the rumors around him leaving right after the draft. So one more chance for him to leave a stamp on this team.
Well, needless to say, there's going to be a lot of activity going on between now and the start of training camp in July, and it was a fun ride with everything that we did in 2021.
Absolutely.
It was nice that we were able to get back to doing a lot of things in person, things that we missed out in 2020. Hopefully, training camp will go back to St. Vincent College, and you know, the fans can start embracing more of the training camp as opposed to anything else.
Looking forward to next year, but not right away. It's just ready to give my mind a rest from football, but looking forward to watching some of these games and see. I'm really looking forward to that Buffalo and Kansas City game. I think that's going to be a fantastic matchup
I think for all the teams that are still alive, I think any particular matchup, fans can't be disappointed how Super Bowl 56 could be a matchup come in a couple of weeks in Los Angeles. So it should be a lot of fun to watch, and it's nice to not have a horse in the race too. You can just watch it for what it is.
Absolutely, you know, and that's what's fun about the game, you know, but a little less pressure on us watching instead of working.
We'll get plenty of rest and relaxation too. We'll do this all over again in a few months once July and August start rolling around.
All right, and we'll see you guys back here for digital version of Black and Gold today, and the weekly shows that we produce for everybody out there, for the audience.
Yeah, and one last thing. Thank you to all the viewers out there that have tuned in either to our digital show or Black and Gold today throughout the course of the regular season.
Right.
Really, without your input, you guys are the ones that make the show, and we just kind of steer the ship in the right direction. And without you guys and providing your stories and content, really made our season very enjoyable, considering, as we mentioned, not having this all of last year.
And a thank you to our partner and colleague Mike Fenner, who couldn't be with us today for the final version. His input, Chip Reed, WTRF down in West Virginia.
Jessica Ryan and all her recipes throughout the season.
And we even threw Dee in there a little bit to help us out with our fan sound off. So thank you to all those folks that contributed. And one last shout out to the Renegade Tailgate. Those guys provide us with a lot of content and through the years and through the season, and we appreciate their efforts too.
And one other footnote from a professional standpoint too, Jeff Hathorn, Tim Benz, and their contributions. I mean,
yeah,
those guys
can't
are
forget
just as
those guys.
busy, if not busier than we are, and they take 5-10 minutes out of their time each and every week to give their insights
Yep,
going
absolutely.
into that weekly matchup. So everybody, we want to thank you for an enjoyable 2021 season. We'll see how it all goes in 2022, though. We're looking forward to it, but in the
Absolutely.
meantime, get some rest.
Will do. You too, Jay. Thank you.
And that does it for this final edition of our digital show. For Kent Urbanski, Mike Fenner, I'm Jay Puskar. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next season.
Thanks for watching Black and Gold Digital Edition.